Welcome to the Bodhi Academy. My name is Shrutika and today let us continue with our chapter Sexual Reproduction in Flowering Plants. So in our previous classes what we have covered is what is the sexual reproductive part of the plant, that is the flower, and which are the two different reproductive parts of the flower, that is the male and the female reproductive part. So in this chapter, in this video today, we are going to cover the male reproductive part of the flower. So the male reproductive part of the flower consists of stamens. So this stamen will undergo microsporogenesis to form what? The pollen grain. So we will study this process in detail now. So what are stamens? So the stamens consist of long slender stalk called a filament and the generally lobed anther. So this is the structure of the this is the structure of the stamen which we have studied in our last video. So each lobe consists of two diathecious anther. Okay, so this anther will consist of the sporogenous tissue which will further develop into pollen grain by the process of microsporogenesis. So now let us see the structure of the anther first. So the anther is four-sided structure, consists of 4 microsporangium, 2 in each lobe. So let us see the structure of anther now. So this is anther. This is the filament which makes the stamens of the male reproductive part. So this anther is a bilobe structure which consists of 4 microsporangium, which will further consist of sporogenous tissue which will form the pollen grain. So this is the structure of the anther. So the anther consists of epidermis, that is the outermost layer. Then comes the endothecium, which is the inner layer below the epidermis. Then comes 2 to 3 layers of middle layer, which is a storage parenchymatous cells. Then comes the sac-like organ called as the sporangium, which consists of sporogenous tissue which will further differentiate into pollen grains. And these sporogenous tissues are surrounded by nutritive tissue called as the tapetum, which provides nutrition to the growing pollen grains. So this is a structure of the anther, as in how the anther, what are the different layers formed inside the anther. So this was about the structure of anther. Now let us study what is the process of microsporogenesis. Microsporogenesis is basically a process of the sporogenous tissue differentiating into the pollen grain. And how this process is happening, it is through the process of microsporogenesis, that is formation of male gamete, that is pollen grain formed from the primary sporogenous tissue. So let us now understand how this process takes place inside the anther. So microsporangium, it is a sporangium as in a sac-like organ which consists of the growing pollen grain, that is the male gamete. So microsporangium is generally rounded by 4-layered wall: epidermis, endothecium, middle layer, and the tapetum. The innermost layer is called as the sporogenous tissue. It is compactly arranged homogeneous cells which are present at the center of each microsporangium when the anther is young. So as the anther matures, the process of microsporogenesis happens or occurs, that is the process of formation and differentiation of microspore pollen grain from the pollen mother cell by reduction division, that is mitosis, called as microsporogenesis. The cells of the sporogenous cell. So how this process occurs inside the anther, that is the microsporogenesis process. So the first, the sporo, if this is the sporangium. Okay, this is the sporangium, and these are what? The sporogenous tissue. Okay, this will undergo reduction division to form what? The second type of cells, that is, it will start separating. This is compactly arranged cells will start separating and forms what? The pollen mother cell. So this pollen mother cell will undergo mitosis to form what? Microspore pollen tetrad. Okay, this tetrad will again undergo reduction division to form the what? Microspore. So this microspore will again undergo gametogenesis, that is, this microspore will undergo certain changes that will form the pollen grain. That is, the nuclear division will take place inside the microspore. This is called as the gametogenesis, wherein the pollen grain is formed from the microspore, which is formed from microsporogenesis process. So this pollen grain this represent the male gametophyte, that is the male gamete. Pollen grain are made up of two layered wall. Okay, so pollen grain consists of various parts. So we will draw the structure of pollen grain now. So a pollen grain consists of an inner layer, then the outer layer. There will be a germ pore, and there are two nucleus, that is a larger nucleus and a smaller nucleus. Okay, so this is how the structure of the pollen grain is. That is the exine, that is the outermost layer. Then this is called as the intine, that is the inner or the middle layer. Then comes the germ pore, which helps in formation of the pollen tube during the germination of the pollen grain. This is called as the germ pore, wherein the intine and exine is absent. Okay, and these are the two nuclei, that is the vegetative. Okay, the bigger nucleus is called as the vegetative nucleus, and this is called as the smaller one is called as the generative nucleus. So this is how the structure of pollen grain appears. That is the pollen grain, that is what it is, the male gamete, which is formed from the process of microsporogenesis from the sporogenous cell inside what? Inside the anther. So this is how the pollen grain, mature pollen grain structure consists of. It is exine, intine, germ pore, and the two nucleus, that is the vegetative cell, which is bigger, abundant food reserve, large irregular nucleus, and responsible for the development of the pollen grain, and the generative cell, which is small. This is involved in the fusion of the egg. This is the main nucleus, which will fuse with the female gametophyte, and then cytoplasm and nucleus. So vegetative nucleus, basically it provides nutrition to the growing embryo, and it helps in giving the food reserve, in storage of the food reserve. But the generative nucleus, which is there, it will act as the male gamete, and it will fuse with the egg cell to form the zygote. So this is about the different parts of the pollen grain and how the microsporogenesis process takes place inside the stamen, and we have also seen what the structure of the stamen. So this was about today's video. So thank you for watching today's video. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe to the Bodhi Academy.